Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back. Today we're going to be unboxing the Sigma 150 to 600mm f5 to 6.3 DG contemporary lens.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah. So it's also the biggest lens that we've ever owned. It comes in at about 4 pounds. Combined with the camera, when it's all set up, you might be pushing her close to 10 pounds. So yeah, some heavy lifting ahead. So we actually picked this up for $8.99. It's also the most expensive lens that we've ever owned by a significant amount. So it's quite an investment. Hopefully it lives up to all the hype around it. I'm going to be using this on the 80D. So this comes out to be roughly a 240 to 960 equivalent. So I get a little bit more reach than what's on the box. So that should be very helpful when we're outside shooting wildlife. A lot of the smaller birds tend to be further away. So, I mean, it's literally twice the focal length of what I've had before. So before that, I had this guy. So this is the EF 70 to 300. I had this ever since I had the Digital Rebel XT. So we're talking probably early 2000s maybe. So it's kind of lasted me a long time. So this is the upgrade that I've splurged on.
So why did you decide to go with Sigma?
That's actually a really good question because it is the first third-party lens that I've ever owned or used. But I did a lot of research online and it seems like this is also one of the sharper lenses that you can get in the sub $1,000 range. It also has the flexibility of zooming. There's a lot of primes in this range, and personally I need to pull back to be able to find my subject first and then kind of zoom in as I have it in the viewfinder. Pinpointing it at 300, the lens that I currently use, I can't do that. I have to pull back to like 70 and then kind of just work my way in. Having the extra reach is the main reason for this lens. So it doubles my focal length, which is amazing. The only downside with the long focal length with these lenses is that any movement that you make, so any camera shake, is going to get amplified. But this does have some image stabilization options available, so that should help. I feel like I need like white gloves. It's like the most expensive lens I've ever owned by far. So we have a little warranty card. Cool.
Keep that, please. As he tosses it across the room.
Yeah.
Very important.
Very important to keep warranty stuff. All right. Wow. Okay. So it has a nice little case in here. Look at that.
Very nice.
What is this? Oh, I think this is the lens hood.
Holy crap.
So, yeah, this is the lens hood. I've heard that you really do want to shoot with one.
For like the sun glare?
Yeah, so it helps with the sun. So yeah, this is just enormous.
That's crazy.
So this lens takes like a 95mm filter. So if you need any filters for this,
they're gonna be pricey.
They're gonna cost you a fortune. I think the one we were looking at was just like $100. Couple straps. And then there's like this rubber ring, 150 to 600 on it. And then we have this giant pouch. So I'm gonna lift the pouch.
I'll hold the box.
And then you can clear the box out. Okay, so it looks like one of these straps is for this pouch.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, because then you can just take it with you if you're not going to carry it like as your only lens for the trip or whatever.
Yeah. So.
Wow, it's got its own dedicated little bag.
Yeah, I did not know it came with a bag.
That's pretty nice.
Because I was like, I don't think this is going to fit in the camera bag I have.
Well,
so, oh
there you go.
My God.
It's so big.
Well,
what?
Does it go all the way down to here?
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Holy crap.
Holy crap.
Well, that's a lot bigger than I thought.
It's deep. So,
Hang on. Oh my gosh. I'm not even sure what to... Oh, it's got one of these. Yeah. So...
That's quite a difference there.
Well, that is a lot bigger than I thought. This one right here, this is the one that I've used my whole life. And it looks like a kid's lens next to this.
So big.
Oh my god. Yeah, so this was like a pound, almost like a pound and a half. And then this one is 4. Yeah, that's quite heftier.
Plus the body of the camera.
Yeah, that's quite hefty.
Wow.
Yeah. So it looks like basically that this one had a baby.
It's like when you see the whale and the calf
swimming.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So right here, it's locked. So if we just switch it, then we should be able to zoom. Oh my god.
God, it's so big.
Well, it's almost out of frame.
It's like a weapon.
I mean, I think this could do some damage.
This is without the hood.
This could do some damage. Yeah.
With the hood?
So, okay. For comparison, there's that at 600. Bring that one back. Yeah.
Wow. It like just dwarfs it completely.
Yeah.
Wow.
A little bit. I do feel like this construction is way better than this. This is actually made of a mixture of some plastic and metals, so it's a lot heftier. This one is just kind of more plasticky. So it feels a lot more sturdy, so that'd be good out in the field.
It's like one thing to know that it's going to be a bigger lens, but to actually see it is something else.
God.
It's huge.
Yeah, I think the other important thing is to use this, because if you bump anything with this glass, it's just gonna hit the hood.
Yeah.
Rather than the glass. So it gives you a little bit of a buffer. Normally, what I would do is throw on like a UV filter or something like that, but I feel like a UV filter for this would be a fortune, so I'm just gonna use the hood.
I'm really excited to see the types of shots you can get with this, though.
I am too. I'm so nervous though, because I'm like, what if they all suck?
No.
What if they all suck?
You're so good at photography. Once you get used to it, like I'm sure it'll just be kind of a little bit of a learning curve, but once you get used to it, I'm sure like your shots are going to be amazing. Speaking of shots, if you're interested, we have our Etsy shop, and we are now offering prints in our Etsy shop.
Yes, we are.
So you'll be able to get prints, or we also offer digital downloads. So check out our Etsy shop.
Link in the description below. Yeah, this is a beefy lens. So if we take a look at these, we have our focus. So we have the autofocus, then we have manual override, which lets you autofocus, and then you can also manually focus to override whatever is being autofocused. And then you have pure manual focus. Next, you have this is the focus range. So full would be 2.8 meters to infinity. If you move it over to 10 meters to infinity, that will stop it focusing on anything close to you, so it won't hunt as much. It'll kind of focus on the further distances. And then you have the 2.8 meters to 10 meters. So that's if you want something that's close up. You don't need to worry about it trying to focus on something off in the distance, so you'll get some quicker focus times out of that. Next, we have the image stabilization here, which is the OS. So on 1, this is going to be kind of, if your subject is stationary, that's going to kind of reduce your camera shake. So you press on the shutter for about, I think it said about a second, and then you can click it. So it'll give it a second to kind of stabilize your image. The second one is going to be if you're panning. So if you have a bird in flight, it is going to try to reduce the amount of vertical shake. It's going to allow you to move it horizontally so you can track your subject. So it should kind of reduce any kind of movement that you don't want. And then off is obviously if you don't want it at all. It has some custom functions here. I looked it up. You need to have like some kind of dock, and then you can kind of assign it different profiles, I guess. But I don't have that, so I'm not really gonna dive too much into that. But maybe something in the future I could look into. But those are kind of all the functions built into the lens. Since this lens is so large, it has its own mount for the tripod. So you would mount it here, so it would give you a better balance point versus mounting just your camera there, because it would be very front heavy, and front heavy with a almost $1,000 lens is not a good scenario. You don't want to find out what happens when you do that, so you would always use this.
How are you planning to use this? Are you planning to take a tripod? Are you planning to hand hold it?
I am going to try to handhold it because I don't want to have to deal with taking a tripod, first of all. Second of all, by the time you set it up, sometimes things are already gone. I just want the flexibility to just kind of move when I need to move, and I don't want to have to drag along a tripod. I know that's going to be very rough in the beginning because it is very heavy, but I'm hoping with time I'll get better. But I think the key is if there's things around that you can kind of use to support, I think that's a good thing to do. So that's with the lens hood on. I do like that it's not an L lens, because I feel like the white just stands out, and people are like, oh, that's like, it's got to be super expensive, because they know like all the L lenses are like really expensive. Like we're talking thousands. So it's a little bit more low key, even though it is huge. It's not like, boom, here it is like in your face. It's just, you know, kind of more discreet.
I'm very curious to see what the Sigma lens is like compared to the Canon lenses that we've been using.
I know.
So that will be really interesting.
Then the other thing too is if you want to just not use the hood, you can just swap it.
Oh, so it just attaches, that way you can kind of use, like,
have it
with you whenever you need to use it. That's so cool. Very smart engineering.
Well, thanks for taking a look at this as we unboxed it. Hopefully you got some useful information. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments below. Be happy to answer. Or if you have any suggestions for us as well, that would be super helpful.
Yes. Thanks again, and just remember, you don't need water to make waves. Bye!
Bye!